Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of the past and illuminating the triumphs and tribulations of human civilization. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of the magnificent tale of the Almohad Caliphate, an empire that once spanned the vast expanse of the Maghreb and Al-Andalus, leaving an indelible mark on the cultural, scientific, and philosophical landscape of the Mediterranean world. As we delve into the origins of this remarkable caliphate, let us first set our gaze upon the rugged terrain of the Atlas Mountains, where the seeds of revolution were sown. In the early 12th century, a sense of discontent had been brewing among the Berber tribes, who felt marginalized by the ruling Almoravid dynasty. It was amidst this backdrop of unrest that a charismatic leader emerged, Ibn Tumart, a theologian and scholar from the Masmuda tribe. Born around 1080 CE in the village of Ijalis, near the city of Ili, Ibn Tumart would become the driving force behind the Almohad movement. As we explore the earliest history of the Almohad Caliphate, it becomes clear that the movement's growth was deeply rooted in the intellectual and spiritual currents of the time. Ibn Tumart's own experiences as a scholar and traveler had exposed him to various influences, including the teachings of the great Islamic philosopher Ibn Hazm. These influences would later shape the distinct theological and philosophical underpinnings of the Almohad Caliphate. In 1121 CE, Ibn Tumart declared himself the Mahdi, or the Guided One, destined to lead the Muslim community to salvation. This proclamation was met with both enthusiasm and skepticism, reflecting the complex and often divided nature of the Maghreb's religious landscape. The Almohads faced opposition from established authorities, including the Almoravid rulers, who viewed their movement as a threat to their power. Despite these obstacles, the Almohads persevered, driven by their conviction in the righteousness of their cause. They found support among various Berber tribes who were drawn to Ibn Tumart's message of reform and his emphasis on the importance of ijtihad, or independent reasoning, in interpreting Islamic law. This approach allowed for a more flexible and adaptable understanding of the faith, which resonated with many who felt stifled by the rigid dogma of the Almoravids. As we explore the earliest history of the Almohad Caliphate, we find ourselves in the vibrant city of Marrakech, founded by the Almoravids in 1062 CE. It was here that Ibn Tumart and his followers would eventually establish their base of power, laying the foundations for a dynasty that would shape the destiny of the Mediterranean world for centuries to come. The year 1130 CE marked a significant turning point in the Almohad movement's history, as Ibn Tumart's successor, Abd al-Mumin, began to consolidate power and expand the empire. The stage is set for a period of rapid expansion, marked by military conquests, administrative reforms, and cultural achievements that would leave an enduring legacy in the annals of history. Join me next as we embark on a journey through the most pivotal moments of this remarkable civilization, as we witness the rise of a dynasty that would forever change the course of Mediterranean history. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the magnificent tale of the Almohad Caliphate. As we delve into this pivotal period, let us first set our gaze upon the remarkable figure of Abd al-Mumin, Ibn Tumart's successor, who would play a crucial role in shaping the destiny of the Almohad Caliphate. Following Ibn Tumart's death in 1130 CE, Abd al-Mumin began to consolidate power and expand the empire, leveraging the momentum generated by his predecessor's charismatic leadership. Under his guidance, the Almohads launched a series of military campaigns, conquering key cities such as Marrakech, Fez, and Tlemcen, and eventually unifying the Maghreb under their rule. One of the most significant achievements of the Almohad Caliphate during this period was the establishment of a robust administrative system, which enabled the efficient governance of their vast territories. The Almohads created a network of provincial governors who were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining law and order, and upholding the authority of the Caliph. This system allowed for a remarkable degree of stability and continuity, enabling the Almohads to focus on cultural and intellectual pursuits. The Almohad Caliphate was also a time of great cultural and intellectual flourishing, as scholars, poets, and philosophers from all over the Mediterranean world flocked to the courts of Marrakesh and other major cities. The caliphs themselves were patrons of learning, and their courts became renowned centers of intellectual inquiry and debate. The famous philosopher and theologian Ibn Rushd, also known as Averroes, was a prominent figure in Almohad society, and his commentaries on Aristotle's works would have a profound impact on the development of Western philosophy. As we explore the cultural achievements of the Almohad Caliphate, we find ourselves in the midst of a vibrant and cosmopolitan society where Muslims, Jews, and Christians interacted and exchanged ideas. The Almohads were tolerant rulers who allowed people of different faiths to practice their religion freely, as long as they acknowledged the authority of the Caliph. This spirit of tolerance and openness enabled the Almohad Caliphate to become a beacon of learning and culture, attracting scholars and intellectuals from all over the Mediterranean world. The year 1172 CE marked a significant milestone in the history of the Almohad Caliphate, as the Caliph, Abu Yaqub Yusuf, launched a major campaign against the Christian kingdoms of northern Spain. The Almohads achieved a series of impressive victories, including the capture of the strategic city of Valencia, and their armies marched as far as the borders of France. This military expansion not only secured the Almohad Caliphate's position as a dominant power in the Mediterranean, but also facilitated the exchange of ideas, cultures, and technologies between the Islamic world and Europe. As we witness the rise of the Almohad Caliphate to the pinnacle of its power and influence, we are struck by the remarkable achievements of this civilization. From their military conquests to their administrative reforms, and from their cultural flourishing to their intellectual pursuits, the Almohads left an indelible mark on the course of Mediterranean history. And yet, as with all great civilizations, the Almohad Caliphate's period of greatness was not destined to last forever. Join me next as we explore the final chapter in the story of the Almohad Caliphate, a tale of decline, fragmentation, and legacy which would forever change the course of Mediterranean history. Welcome back to History with Herodotus as we conclude our journey through the magnificent tale of the Almohad Caliphate. As we delve into this final period, let us first set our gaze upon the internal conflicts and external pressures that began to erode the foundations of the Almohad Caliphate. The Caliphate's vast territories, which once stretched from Spain to Libya, began to fragment as regional governors and tribal leaders asserted their independence. The Banu Ghaniya, a powerful family from the Balearic Islands, launched a series of rebellions against the Almohads, while the Christian kingdoms of northern Spain, led by the likes of Ferdinand III of Castile, took advantage of the Caliphate's weakness to launch a series of military campaigns. One of the most significant challenges faced by the Almohad Caliphate during this period was the rise of the Marinid dynasty in Morocco. The Marinids, who were initially allies of the Almohads, began to expand their territories at the expense of the Caliphate, eventually capturing key cities such as Fez and Marrakesh. In 1269, the Marinids dealt a devastating blow to the Almohads, conquering Marrakech and marking the end of the Caliphate's dominance in Morocco. As the Almohad Caliphate declined, its cultural and intellectual legacy continued to flourish. The works of Ibn Rushd, also known as Averroes, remained highly influential in European intellectual circles, shaping the thought of philosophers such as Thomas Aquinas. The Almohads' architectural achievements, including the stunning Qutbiyya Mosque in Marrakesh, continue to inspire wonder and admiration. The Caliphate's spirit of tolerance and openness also left a lasting impact on the Mediterranean world, facilitating the exchange of ideas and cultures between Muslims, Jews, and Christians. The year 238 CE marked a significant milestone in the history of the Almohad Caliphate, as the Caliph Abu al-Idris al-Mamun attempted to reform the empire's administrative system and revitalize its military. However, his efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and the Caliphate continued its downward spiral. As we witness the decline of the Almohad Caliphate, we are reminded that even the greatest civilizations are subject to the forces of history, and that their legacies can be both enduring and fragile. In conclusion, the story of the Almohad Caliphate is a testament to the power of human creativity, resilience, and ingenuity. From its humble beginnings as a reform movement in the Atlas Mountains to its rise as a dominant power in the Mediterranean, the Caliphate left an indelible mark on the course of history. As we reflect on the decline and legacy of this remarkable civilization, we are reminded that the past continues to shape our present, and that the lessons of history remain essential for building a better future. As the great Arab historian Ibn Khaldun once wrote, "The past resembles the future, more than one drop of water resembles another." As we close this chapter on the Almohad Caliphate, we are invited to ponder the enduring relevance of its story and to consider how the triumphs and tragedies of this medieval empire continue to inform our understanding of the world today. Join me next time on History with Herodotus as we embark on a new journey through the ages, exploring the fascinating stories and legacies that have shaped human civilization. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.